Hey.
Hey, what are you touching me with your meat glove for?
I haven't touched meat with it yet.
Am I a piece of meat to you?
You're a female.
You're right.
Unless if there's something actually down there that they keep talking about. All right, Kermit. So, we got 2 ribeyes in honor of Valentine's Day. I wanted to make you a nice dinner.
Wow.
And show you how to actually handle meat, because I've been pretty disappointed.
You have to have meat for me to handle it first.
Which is why I went to the store and got 2 steaks. So, we got 2 ribeyes, and if you place it just right, and whenever it's a good girl, it shapes in the way of a heart. So I figured that you would take one side, I would take the other side, and we would play with our meat and season it. Do you want Ma Deuce or gunpowder?
Ma Deuce.
Okay, it's sealed for freshness. And my virginity.
Leave room for Jesus. Or Jesus. We're in Texas.
Jesus is more accurate. Or Zeus. Couple pro tips that a lot of people don't know about. Since I obviously don't have the equipment to work with and I buy the equipment, I've learned a few things. With this, these have been up to room temperature. It's not that big of a deal the way that we're gonna cook it today. We're gonna do a sous vide cook, which you've never done before.
No.
So this will be new, interesting, and different. We're gonna cook these in water. So we have been letting these sit out. Again, the sous vide cook, don't have to let it come up to temperature, but we have been doing that. Whenever you are actually seasoning your steaks, you can tell these guys are nice and thick. With it being thick, you actually want to season it pretty good. A lot of people under season their meat. Another thing, you want to do it from a higher distance off your meat, not super close, especially like with Ma Deuce, because we have heavier granulates of onion, garlic, black pepper inside of there. And if you season it like real close, you're not going to get a good mixture of everything inside of it. So as we're seasoning it, we want to do it from up top. I normally just keep one hand on the edge of the meat to make sure the seasoning's going on the meat, not on the cutting board. And with gunpowder, it's pretty easy since it's black. We just want to do a nice good coat on that. Some people say not to push in this rub because it blocks the smoke or any flavor from going in. I think that they're just liars.
Think they're just making it up?
Yeah, that's a bold strategy. One of the things that you can do if you don't want to use a binder like an oil or anything like that, you can actually just let your meat sit for a minute and it's going to naturally sweat. And one of the things I actually like to do is mix these 2 seasonings together. It comes out awesome. So a lot of times for the sides of the steak, which most people forget to do, is I just put some extra seasoning down on the cutting board and run it through. Again, do not go skimpy with your seasoning, but also don't go crazy.
I don't think that's possible.
I'm standing next to, we'll get it back in the shape of a heart. Look at that. Actually, it looks way better now. With that, I'm gonna go get the vacuum sealer. We're gonna vacuum seal these and start cooking them.
I used it for my underwear earlier.
Is that why it smells like that?
People pay a lot of money for that.
I'm about to sell it.
Yours?
No, not my underwear. My vacuum sealer.
Oh,
crazy?
Your vacuum sealer, okay.
Not only has my meat been in it, but so has your underwear. She didn't take a shower after the gym this morning too. It was great.
I went in the sauna for a while also, so I'm just all spicy.
That's one way to say it. So with sous vide, we're going to be cooking these in water. We're gonna finish it off by searing it, but we're gonna bring them up to temp and make them super tender. With that, we'll need a couple bags. The easiest way is to save money, buy a roll of film. She's expensive enough. Then you're gonna go ahead and seal on one side. While that's sealing, you can just cut it to make a bag. It's like civil rights. You're gonna throw on your meat glove.
It's spicy now. If I touched your balls with it, would it hurt?
One way to figure out. Payback will be the barbecue sauce on the nipples. Or hot sauce. Pro tip, if you're throwing your meat inside of here, you're getting a hand or not getting a hand to get the job done. The easiest way, fold your bag like this, inside out, so that way, if your meat does touch the rim, you can just plop it out and have a clean rim job. And you just make sure that all the excess goes inside the drip. Go to operate. Now we're gonna vacuum seal the steak. We'll do the same exact thing on the other one. One of the coolest things with sous vide is whenever we do throw it in the water, we're gonna turn it to whatever temperature we want, so we can just let it roll for basically as long as you want. So typically, like, you can do an hour or like 3-4 hours, and it's never gonna overcook.
It lasts longer than you do.
100%. I've never seen someone be able to cook a steak in 30 seconds. Right in there. Just like those who have special talents, you're gonna squirt and fill this up. Show you that.
What are you using that for?
got our bucket of water. This is a nice little fancy steak holder. I don't normally do like the individual unless if I'm doing a ton. We're only doing 2 steaks. What I'll end up doing, plop it down like this right here. And then I use the actual dividers as a weight to hold the steaks down. Throw our lid on, and take our, this could be like a hair dryer, a sexual device, or a sous vide.
I'm very concerned that you're putting it in the water when I have been told not to take the toaster in the water with me.
So it's already set to 135 for the temperature. We're gonna bring it down to 130 because we like medium rare. Yes. We'll throw it for 2 hours. And then so this kicks on, and now it's just literally gonna circulate hot water and turn it into a hot tub for our steaks. Come back 2 hours later, cut open the bags, pat our steaks dry, throw it in a pan, sear it, and it's done. See y'all in 2 hours. Okay, it's been right at about 2 hours. We're still 130 degrees, perfect temperature. That's the only time you should put a plugged in device in the water with meat. I'm sure there's some other toys that you can do that with, but just read the instructions. Okay, so they are fully cooked, but they're gonna look nasty. One of them, as you can see, is totally black, but that one just looks like a mushy steak.
It does.
So we need to grab some paper towels. You getting ready for the mess.
Prepared.
How else would you warm up the paper towels? We cut this guy open.
Smells good.
As you can see, it's fully cooked and falling apart.
It is falling apart.
You can see that falling apart. And then what we're doing with the paper towels is we are going to pat the steaks dry so we get a better crust whenever we throw it in the pan. So normally I'll do 2 paper towels thick on the bottom, come on top, pat it down,
Good girl.
smack it, and then just kind of get the sides. That's all you need. We lost a little bit of seasoning, but not much because it really sticks to it after that bath. And then if you guys need a money shot or you need to remind your lady that you care about them, this is where you take it and make a heart. Let's go cook this. So we're gonna go sear it real quick. All right, you can see we have some smoke coming off of it. Our coconut oil is running nice and good on it, and we're gonna set in our steaks away from us and maintain the integrity of our heart. And keep in mind, since these are fully cooked, we only need to let them go for about 30 seconds on each side. We've got a good crust going. And if you guys want to flip it a few more times, get a little bit more color on there, you can. This is looking pretty good. I'm probably gonna let it flip. Again, we are going a little bit hotter than I normally would, but that's just because I'm trying to wow Stephanie with her steaks.
Smells great.
If you do it too hot, we're going to end up burning some of the spices on it. So I'm going to kill that. Give these guys just a second. I'm going to take them, flip them over, get a good sear on your sides. We're back on the cutting board. And I know everyone gets excited and they just want to jump right in the meat. You gotta let your meat rest. Same thing as before you go and work out or you jump in bed, you gotta stretch and get warmed up. Let your meat rest. It'll be way more juicier and wetter for you, especially this time of the year. Okay, so we let these rest for about 10 minutes so we can retain all the nice juiciness
Now we can go
too.
for round 2?
Yes. So round 2 is going to consist of 2 different styles of meat on here. I don't know if you know this, but this is actually
I do like 2 meats.
the eye of the rib.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's kind of like the, and this is the ribeye cap, also known as the spinalis. So a couple different things. If you actually look at it, see how this is more of a solid piece of meat. So this is going to be more similar to like a sirloin. This part right here is part of some of the most tender pieces of meat on the cap itself. So with that, keep in mind, especially if you guys really want to wow your ladies, and instead of doing like a fillet, get you a ribeye, cut the eye out and take your actual cap, remove it like this right here, and before you cook it, you can actually tie it into a steak like this with some butcher's twine, and it'll look just like a tenderloin, except it'll be way more tender. So with that, keep in mind, you always want to cut against the grain. You can see the grain like that right there. As you guys can see, since we did sous vide, it's perfect edge to edge, but seared all the way through.
Perfect. Falls apart.
Is that not just like tender and amazing?
It's so good.
So, and on your ribeye, I always like to cut off the spinalis like that. Give it a nice good cut, because for some reason, throughout evolution, females still can't cut their steaks. Am I wrong?
I was offended for like 2.5 seconds and realized I didn't want to cut my own steak.
I mean, I'm just saying. This is why I love sous vide so much. It's just perfect.
All the way across.
Yes. So, I'll cut this guy. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I really don't. I'm Ricky Bobby over here.
All right, now
Okay.
you're gonna get a piece of yours,
Oh, okay.
and you'll be able to see the difference between gunpowder and Madus.
Okay.
Get a little bit more crunch on it, a little bit more saltiness to it. Nothing overpowering, but also
Both of them
you get the
perfectly. Perfectly cooked.
citrus notes from the citrus peel inside of there, and there's also dehydrated Worcestershire sauce inside of it.
Oh, wash your sister sauce.
Yep, I lost my sister. And speaking of sisters, why don't you grab that cucumber, I'll get the meat, and we'll go find a stepsister.